Shaq, I want to ask you about this because as it was happening, you came to mind. They're down 11. Terry starts going to the hack of Howard, and you've certainly been in the hack of Shaq enough. What does that feel like in that moment when you know they're just trying to send you to the line and think we're going to take advantage of the fact that this may not be a sure thing with you at the line?
Well, most of the time they go to a guy that's shooting 50%. So you can never go below 50%. You know, at best, try to make one. But however, if you do miss two, then you have to rely on your team to go down and get stops. You can't miss.
Did you feel it was an insult?
Yeah, I felt it was an insult. Well, actually, no, I felt it was an insult and a sign of respect. That was just telling me that you can't play me. Because as you see, my numbers were so dominant and so flamboyant that you had to go through something else.
Flamboyant numbers.
But if you take care of business and do what you do, like, you know, for example, Dwight was 9 of 21. He had 27 for 15. If he would have went 12 for 21, he would have had 33 and 20. If he would have went 13 and 21, he'd have 35 and 20. When you're so dominant, sometimes the pack of Shaq don't even matter.
But it mattered. It mattered tonight. It got Portland back in the game tonight.
Well, it got him back in the game. I think the one thing that, you know, we had a guy on our team before Shaq even was in the league, Larry Smith, that they was great rebound. He was getting 20 rebounds.
Mr. Mean.
Mr. Mean was getting 20 rebounds for like 10 straight games, over 20 or more rebounds, and then Don Nelson decided to foul him. And it actually worked. But the one thing that what we always said was the offset of, like Shaq said, the offset of his points without fouling dominates so much that it shouldn't make that much of a difference when they go to the hack of whatever. And same thing with Mr. Mean. He was rebounding so well that he was dominating so much that it didn't make as much an impact. The problem with certain guys is when they're not dominating. When they're shooting, you know, 5 for 11, and then you go to a hack of whoever, those guys aren't dominating games, so then they're not helping you get to the point where they have to do that. And then the strategy works 100% of the time.
But again, Ernie, sorry to cut you off, but again, Ernie, if you do miss two, you have to rely on your team to get stops. If you're missing two and the other team is getting in the rhythm and hitting shots, then it works. But if you miss a couple and you get stops,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.